Hey, what you're about to see is an excerpt from a 46-minute documentary that's part of a series called Kaimuay Diary. So it's kind of a fly-on-the-wall look at life behind the scenes at my gym, and this episode is going to Lumpinee very early in the morning for the boys to weigh in, and then throughout the day and fighting at night at Lumpinee. So if you guys are interested in Kaimuay Diaries, you can check out the link in the description below, and I hope you guys like this excerpt. So this is 4 a.m. outside the gym, and you're looking at Bamrung, who is the founder of the gym and the father of my crew, Nu, giving a blessing to Sun, who will be fighting at Lumpinee later that night. So we have 3 fighters at Lumpinee, and all 3 of them will have gone through this blessing with Bamrung before getting in the car and driving to Bangkok for weigh-ins. So he just kind of does some chants, wishing good luck, not to get hurt, fortune, and then he tells Sun that he has to be brave and that he has to dern, which means to go forward. This is after our 2-hour drive into Bangkok, arriving at the new Lumpinee Stadium. That's it from the outside. And this is just about 6 a.m. getting ready to weigh in. And you can see the other fighters are around. That's this parking lot that on the very top of that parking structure is actually a gym where I trained with Dieselnoy one time, which is really cool. So this is, I think, actually Bank's opponent, and Bank just checked his weight so he can come in. That's Cruden taking his shirt in the, like, kind of flattish shirt. So these photos get taken at weigh-in. It doesn't matter whether before or after, but they take individual shots of the fighters and they take them as a pair, and those go up online really quick, like within an hour, with information and stats for the night. And people look at that as part of a promotion for the show. It's for gamblers, it's for the newspapers that cover sports, it's for everything, but a lot of this is online now. The highlights make it to TV, and some of the fights are broadcast, but most of this is online. That's D putting on his white and orange shirt there. He was the Kurong, which means there are 3 highlight fights of a night. Kuek means like the main event, and Kurong is the one right before that, and then there's one right before that. So Bank was the first one, and then D was the second one, and then there was a main event that night that had a fighter that both of them had lost to, named Nikom. This was really intense. This happened outside while weigh-ins were going on. The guy who's being choked by the belt and yelled at, this guy in the gray is trying to kind of keep that guy a little bit calm. But the 2 men yelling at him and holding him are from a gym, Hippie Singh gym. And this guy who they're freaking out at had offered to pay one of their fighters to lose. So he offered this kid 40,000 baht to throw his fight. And they're super pissed about it. The guy who is accused of having paid the kid is a friend of the owner of the gym, who's not hippie. He's like an investor, but they're super mad because they're like, what this guy is saying now is he's like, you pretend to know us, you've been coming around, like you act like you're our friend, to offer to pay this kid to lose a fight. And then this is the fighter flips over onto their stomach and they'll have their back cracked, and then they really go at the hamstrings and the calves. And then there's some manipulated stretching, so Krunu will fold his legs and push them forward like this to get the quads all stretched out. This is the room that Krunu and Bank were staying in together, and I think that Sun and team were in another room and they came over here for the massages, but you can see how much of a frat party it is everywhere they go. So you stand up, try to get your undies off, and then the arms are the last thing in the massage. But in watching this, if you've never seen a massage before, you can see kind of the order of what they do things, but you can also just see how casual it is. Like, nobody is super focused on what they're doing because they've done this 8 million times before. Crenew's sneering because he doesn't really like Banks' music. It's like the Straight Outta Compton soundtrack or something. I think I remember Ice Cube playing. So Bank came over and used a little bit more of the spray on his shoulders. But again, just eating, resting, starting to warm up. Super, super casual. No pressure. But Crenew gets all these phone calls throughout the day from people who are just checking in. So here we're outside of Lumpinee again. We park next to it on a military field. Lumpinee is military, Rajadamnern is police. So everyone who works at Lumpinee is a soldier of some kind. And we park in the military base right next to it. We're waiting for Crenew, who has gotten a phone call again. Sometimes it's his dad asking what's happening, just checking in on the fighters. Sometimes it's someone calling him to let him know that odds have changed throughout the day. So you might hear people talking about how the gamblers don't really start betting until round 3. That's why rounds 1 and 2 can be kind of slow. The odds for a fight start way before anyone even gets to the stadium. Hey, so what you just watched is the 3rd episode of Kaimuay Diaries. There are 2 other episodes that you can watch. They're a fly-on-the-wall look at my gym in Pattaya, Petrungdurung Gym, and you can see those as a $10 patron. Click on the link below to check out patron.com, and as a $10 patron, not only do you get to see all of the Kaimuay Diary entries, but you also have full access to the full library of the Preserve the Legacy project. So lots to look at there, and I hope you guys dig it.